On this episode of Two Dudes, One Cart, John and I sit down and talk about everything that's happened in golf. Adam Scott says he'd welcome back live golfers with open arms, but some may not. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Two Dudes, One Cart. Well, everybody, we're back here in the frozen tundra of Indiana. John, how you doing tonight, bud?
It's Carhartt season, man. Trying to pull 2 inches out through 4 inches of Carhartt. It's tough.
Yeah, normally get your leg wet.
Yeah, always.
So I think the big news, man, is Ludwig Aberg or Oberg actually pulls off the win and basically beats Jesus about everybody in golf at Torrey Pines at the Genesis Invitational.
It was fun to watch. I was glad for my Swedish brethren. He's
Well,
Aberg or Oberg, and I'm Lofberg.
nice that we were discussing him and how good he's been playing and how well he looked at TGL, but
Yeah.
surprising to see Mav McNeely up there. It's good to see Indiana boy Patrick Rogers shooting
Rogers
up
did
there.
good. Yeah.
I think my most shocking thing is to see Scheffler in third place.
Well, I mean, he had an off day for him. So, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, I liked hearing Tiger go talk about Aberg and say, he's like, yeah, he's got a pretty simple swing. It's hard for him to make mistakes. That's a pretty strong compliment coming from old Tiggy Woods.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting when Tiger walked up while he was in an interview and Ludwig was and tapped him and he turned around all surprised. There's Tiger waiting there to shake his hand. He's like, oh, hey, Mr. Woods. I tell you, the other thing that I was pretty excited to see was Daniel Berger, man, climbing up there, came in 12th.
Yep.
Justin Thomas in ninth. That's always good for golf to see JT up there.
Yeah.
Um, I still think it was really surprising to see McNeely just go lights out and just seem like
Dude
he
was
was
on a
making
tear
everything.
there. He was on a tear for, I don't know, what do you have? Like 7 birdies, eight
Oh yeah,
birdies.
dude was lighting it up.
I was
But
doing a little research on the Genesis Open payouts. Like, man, even 40th place would be a good day.
yeah, the purse it's a $20 million purse for that event.
That was an elevated event then for Tiger.
You know what? I don't know. I believe you may be correct. I didn't look it's not. I mean, the thing I like about the Genesis Open generally is that Riviera, and I like Riviera. Never played it, but I mean, I like it, like watching, seeing the
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, I do
Um,
like that course as well. I mean,
so Torrey Pines, obviously a great course,
yeah.
but I don't really pay that much attention. I'm assuming it's an elevated event, but I don't.
Yeah, $20 million purse is a good. I mean, if you got 36th place, you'd be getting 100 grand. So I mean,
See,
if you think you could
seems like a
get
decent 4 days.
right, I mean, if you could get in the top, let's say top 50, let's go top 40. Top 40 got you 86,000, and you're playing what 40 some events a year.
I don't know if it's that many, but
Let's say 30 events, and that would get you to. I mean, you're looking at almost 3 million, $2.5 million minimum. So if you could just make it to the weekend every time you go play, I mean, you're going to be at least in the double multimillionaire range. I could do
I
that.
yeah, the only problem is you got to get there and beat out the rest of the schmoes to make the cut to actually make it to play,
Yeah.
and then make the cut for the weekend. And
Yeah. I mean, I don't, what are those? What are the field sizes now? Is it like 100 or so? 80?
I will look that up. I'm not sure what that ended up being but totally unprepared for this, obviously.
Well, we're kind of going. I mean, we don't have a script, so we're just. It was just something that came up to me. I was looking at it the other night, and I was like, "Man, what did these guys pay?" Because I knew like first place was like I don't remember. It was a lot though. A couple mil, 2.5 million, 3 million, 3.5,
72 players.
and 70 got paid. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
36,000 for last place ain't a bad day.
Yeah, it's a limited field event. That's right. Yeah. Now it's coming back to me as I'm reading it.
So I mean, that's going to be a unique one, right? Since it's a limited field.
Yeah, and I I don't really I don't have a problem with them doing those limited fields. I don't know still quite how all this stuff works out when you combine however they're going to do this combination with live when that
Yeah, who
all
knows?
comes down. We'll never know until it finally happens, but
They keep hitting at it every week. That's for sure.
well, because I think it's I think
Getting
it's pretty
close.
big news. I mean, it's back in the news again with Adam Scott saying that he'd welcome back live golfers with open arms, but some may not. And then you got Rory back on the soapbox saying anyone angry over it should just get over it.
Yeah, I mean,
So, I mean,
that's the simple way to look at it.
I don't think I think it's come down to these guys, hey, we're tired of all the chatter. Let's get it done. Let's figure out how this is going to work out. We know that's
Yeah,
for some, that's what's best for golf. For me and you, we really don't care.
yeah,
Both seem to operate just fine,
yeah,
but
yeah,
that is what it is. I appreciate Adam Scott because he's whatever president of the players board or whatever. But
yeah,
the whole thing with Roy still boggles my mind. But hey, he's seen the light and he realizes that he would like to play against those guys more.
yeah.
Um,
Well, it's truly the best against the best, right?
right, and
I think I heard that mentioned like until they get the merger or allow them to play against each other, like no one really knows who the best is because you have some, I would say 5 or 8 of the guys over on Live could be in the top 10, worldwide.
well, and I think that I don't know why any of those guys would be upset just for the simple fact that Liv has impacted their pockets. We all know that.
Yep.
Maybe that's only for the top 35, 50 golfers. Okay. But they've impacted purse sizes.
Purse sizes have gone up big
They've
time.
made huge changes, regardless if anybody wants to admit it or not. I think the big thing that I want to see, if it's possible, and I mentioned it on our social media, if this happens, does Bryson change the game? I mean, does Bryson come over there and say, "Hey, I don't mind playing on the PGA Tour, but here's my problem. I want the rights. I want my media rights."
Yeah, I mean that's definitely going to have to come up.
That's a huge change for the PGA. And I know we've talked about this before, but if you take the PIP money, um, and they're not doing that anymore, if they figure out a way to just scramble that around, I don't know.
Yeah,
They need to come up with some other way that these guys have access to their own media rights, and then maybe the tour pays them or doesn't pay them, however they work it out, X amount for their for their media. They sign a low budget deal and say, "Hey, we're going to give each person 100 grand
yeah,
for your media rights for your image and likeness." Maybe it's that easy, and then these guys because I don't see Bryson giving up his
yeah.
YouTube and all the stuff he's doing.
No, I mean he's exploding. I mean, I see like a Bryson only playing the elevated events and the 4 big ones. Obviously, he'll play. He'll play the Masters, the Open, and all that stuff, the majors. But I don't see him now switching over and playing a lot more PGA events, throwing in. Maybe he'll play 8 PGA events, including the majors.
Well, there's a lot of events that I think there's events that they um miss playing. Um,
TPC Sawgrass, right? That's in their backyard in Florida, where most of them live anyway. So I could see that coming in.
but I think it's a huge opportunity for Bryson to, I mean, I whether people want to admit or not, it's a Phil made the right decision, did the right thing, opened a lot of eyes to a lot of different things. And
Yep.
I think Bryson could really kind of, lack of a better term, cement his place in history on that portion of it if he did go over there and they come up with a deal to players to have their media rights. I just think that's huge for all those players
Yeah.
if they want to get out and do kind of what Bryson's doing. Because I don't know necessarily how it works right now and how like Homa and the other guys have got on YouTube and I mean they wear all their whoever sponsor them they wear all that gear,
Yeah.
but I don't see like PGA Tour plaster all over the side of their head either.
Nothing. Yeah. I don't know how that works. Really, I mean, I don't really care how that media works. I mean, that's going to be behind closed doors, most likely anyway, how that
Right.
all shapes out. But it will be exciting if they can just get this thing over with so everybody can just go back to watching golf, whether you're watching a live event or PGA event, doesn't matter. They can do whatever they want. And it's one big conglomerate again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm looking forward to just it sealing the deal and just figure out how they're going to do it from here on out. But
Yep. Yeah, get it done and let's move with it.
now this next bit of news, John, I know you have literally been on the edge of your seat waiting for this to come out.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Sunday Red has signed their first player, which is their player ambassador, Carl Phillips, who earned his PJ Tour card last year on Corn Ferry and makes his debut at the Mexico Open. He was also Rookie of the Year. But I know you've been waiting to find out who Tiger is going to get his clothing on first, and there you go. I wanted to be the one to break that to you, break that news. So I
Thank you.
know.
I've been setting reminders for myself to check on that, and I just haven't done it for the past however long he's had that company. Good for him. Hopefully, he makes some money off Tiger.
Well, and to cap off what we're talking about Tiger at TGL, Tiger hits a 99-yard shot with 199 to go, left himself like 100 still in because there was some communication errors between him and his caddy. And I know I have a lot of communication errors with my caddy on my sim league, so I can understand that. But it was pretty funny to see Kisner and those guys on the ground laughing as Tiger still had 100 yards in. But I was like, yeah. I know when I look back to my caddy at the sim league and I set my nooner down, I go, how many yards did you say that was? I know it says on the screen, but
Yeah,
how many yards was that?
yeah. My virtual caddy lies a lot. Funny topic. I had Ty Kitt and Jordan DeLeo over, and my sim here at my place, and I forgot to turn off the typically when we play sim, we play everything with the same power. So it doesn't matter if you're in the rough or whatever. On my sim, it's a full swing sim with the track,
Right.
two rows of sensors. So it's a little gimmicky, but it's good enough for me to practice, hit some balls. Anyways, I forgot to turn that power thing off. So it's every shot's the same. And I got an 18 on a par five because I sent 7 in a row in the water. I pulled out a 7 iron. It was like 175 to the green, maybe like I don't know, 150 to clear the water. And I go, there's no way. Like I'm hitting like 1-4 smash on a 7 iron. This thing's going good. And I just kept on coming short. It's like 10 cup out there. I just kept on dropping the ball. So if anybody's experienced that, I feel your pain. And I was definitely out of the game after I carded that 17 or 18 on the scorecard. So
I'm just glad to hear Ty Kit still exists.
yeah, he's alive. He's got some eye problems, but dude's doing well. Simulator Ty is a different guy. You don't want to play him on the sim. He's
Well,
like a +2 on the simulator, +8 in real life. So there's 10 shot differential.
that's good to hear. Good to hear.
So just keep
So
that in mind
since
when you go play him.
Since we're talking about simulators and so we don't move on, you left everybody hanging. And I mean, I've got 1 to 2 messages about what in the heck happened to the boys in the sim league, how'd the tournament turn out?
Yep.
And these two people want to know. So we really need to
Yep.
dive into that.
Yeah. So Sim League, we ended up, being the all season winner for the regular season. And then we went in the tournament, knocked out uh, McCurry, which was nice to do, and Jonathan Osborne. So it felt good to beat our buddies and their opposing team in the friends group. Um, there was a handicapped and flighted version. So like the handicap winner got in, and so they had all the scores as a conglomerate. So before we started, there was already a team at 22 under. Right. And we're like, okay, that's pretty nice going in the hole. They get 22 shots for their team, right? And it's 18 holes. Normally we play nine. Started off kind of hot. It's like I think it was four man, three best ball. So it's pretty, you could only have one guy mess up really. We started getting like a couple under here. The next hole we'd get one under. So we're going in the back nine. I think we're at like 12 under, which we're like, okay, like we can get, as long as we get to 18, the team finish at the time was 18 under. I was like, we can do that. That's, 9 holes to get, 6 under more, maybe get to eight more on the back, no problem, right? Also, they were live streaming this event at 5 iron. So we just to preface that, we had to be minding our P's and Q's on the camera. I couldn't be yelling out the F bombs at myself or anything else like that. There might have been a couple rounds of shots since we were the leaders. We got free drinks. Um, those were flowing well, and we kind of hit a buzzsaw
Mm.
um, where we got two of us would get a bogey and that we had to take. Um, we had a hole where 3 out of the 4 of us hit it in the water off the tee shot. I think it was like hole 13 or 14. Only one of us were able to save par on that one. Uh, and then it was getting late in the night, and we got back down to like 10 under total when we were coming up on 16, and it was already like 10:30 at night on a Friday. And I'm like, Old Town Tavern doesn't sound too bad right about now. We're out of it. And so then we parted ways a little early, a little premature
Oh,
uh, removal from the sim league. So we don't know what we shot, but it wasn't in the top five. I know that.
man. Well, I'll let the two guys that were messaging me about it, which are Tex and Tony, you would have thought they would have actually knew the story, but I guess
Well, they
Old
left
Town must
early
have been a
too.
good time.
So yeah, well, when we all leave early, that's how it goes.
Well,
But we did earn a free second winter league. So they have like a pre-winter league starts in November, and then they do another one that started this past Tuesday. And we did win a free entry to that for a 4 man team. It's an 8 week team. I did not sign up for that because I was like, oh, it's February. We're going to be golfing here in the next week or so. And then wake up
mm.
and we get snow on the ground this morning. So there goes that.
Well, you win some, you lose some. At least you guys got the hometown portion done.
That's it.
You know, and also, I don't know how many people have noticed, but the PGA Tour has also made some changes for 2025. They're using more of the drone ball tracer this year.
Yep.
Um, they're setting up the huge crane on some different holes at different events. They're doing the walk and talk interviews.
Yeah.
They still have that Falcon 360 camera and the Golf Tech OptiMotion swing analysis. So now, they can be right over top and zoom around the whole swing, and you get to hear the
Yep.
whole spiel of how good these guys are hitting it and how shitty your swing is. So they're making some changes. I thought the biggest change that CBS has added a fourth LPGA event in 2025, which is I knew I was going to forget. It's the Michelle Wie event, and they're giving it prime time. It's like 1 to 3.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be
Um,
cool.
So I thought that was pretty cool. And then another thing that I didn't even realize, and I know you don't pay attention to a lot of this stuff, but Trevor Immelman is the chairman of the official world golf rankings,
No idea who that is. Don't care.
Masters winner.
Okay, good for him.
But I thought that was pretty interesting that
Yeah,
I didn't realize that he's in the booth, so I don't know what the how that works out, but I just thought that was odd news that I came across. I'm like, really? You know, I'm not a big fan of the OWGR unless he's going to
yeah,
make a lot of changes because I still think that if anybody wants to follow any stats or anything to do with golf rankings, they might as well just look at data golf and follow all that because it's
yeah,
seems much more realistic across the board.
for sure.
But John, what's your how's your practice working out? You got any tips for our listeners on things they can do right now in the off season? I know we were seeing possible 50-degree weather approaching. So we'll have, you know, a good solid 4 days of mud hole and then maybe might see some
Yeah.
courses open up.
Yeah, I mean, still doing the every other week lesson with Mr. Jeremy Allen, so that's going well. Um, I think if the weather gets above 40 to 50 degrees, I'll probably go over to the outdoor range at Gray Eagle on the northeast side of Indianapolis, just so I can see the ball go farther than 10 feet into the screen. Um, so I would recommend if you can, if you have that option, obviously to go see the ball fly, do that just so you get some sanity, even if you're not able to play golf and in the mud and the mushy condition of the grass. But yeah, I mean, hit up your local Sims. I talked to, um, you know, Five Wood Flats. I'm going to go over there and go check out his place here to come and take some video recording of that. So I think I'm going to go over there Sunday if you're not doing anything, by the way. I don't know what
Yeah.
time you got back to me, but you're probably working. But I'm going to
Unfortunately,
check out that sim. I'm still going down to mine at least twice a week. Last week I did 4 times because we did a little sim practice with Ty and Justin. But yeah, I mean I use that Tour Aim golf now. The two alignment sticks and then the vertical alignment stick. And that's helped me out tremendously from coming over the top. Because if I come over the top, I'm nailing the rod. So I'm ultra sensitive on that. I just wish I could have that rod, that Tour Aim behind me while I'm playing. So I don't revert back. But just like anything, I think it just takes repetition. So, I mean, if I do this 3 times, 2 to 3 times a week for a half hour for, over a 12-week period before a golf trip, I think I'm going to see good results when I come out there and put it in play.
yeah, I've been doing much of the same and just working on my just getting everything in the right position.
Yeah,
That's about it. Just hitting balls and getting everything squared away and
for sure.
trying to get out of the old Town. I know everybody. I'm sure we're probably got maybe negative 2/10 people care about how I'm hitting the ball, but the
Yeah.
I care because it's wildly frustrating.
Yeah, for sure.
Just wildly frustrating. Any uh any big changes coming to John's bag this year?
No, as I'm looking over at my bag right now, just staring at me, wanting to know why I'm not using it. Really having a hard time not pulling the trigger on a custom vessel bag. Um, for all the listeners that are looking at bags, they are so sweet. They just look, they just look money. I mean, they're costly. You're spending $400 to $600 on a bag, but they're leather. They got magnetic pouches. Man, they look clean. But I also have my Yulin Country Club Sun Mountain emblem, custom bag that I have, and it's great carry bag. It's lightweight. It's 15 weight or 14 weight dividers, um, with all the pouches I needed. The Sun Mountain makes a great bag. Um, I will be getting fit for a new driver. I'm gonna go
Oh,
do a blind fitting on that with Taylor over at the Golf Nest.
ooh.
Um, I called Lab Golf because I did order the new Oz putter, Oz Eye with a steel insert.
Yep.
just to make sure that they received my order, even though I got an order confirmation. It's been probably a week and a half and I haven't seen any updates. And it's kind of like waiting for Amazon to get there. You're just checking every 30 minutes to see like the shipping status has changed. So that'll be exciting to get a new putter in the bag and have the technology work for me.
Yeah,
So I'm excited
there's
about that. But I'm sticking with the Strixon Mark IIs, blacked out chrome, black shafts. The T was it the what's the Titleist woods I have? The TSR.
yep.
Yep. I'm gonna keep that, the 4 wood and the 7 wood combo. At the end or middle of last summer, I got the ping wedges, forge face, great feeling. Still got a lot of life left on them, so I think I'll just keep that. I think the only thing that might change is the driver because I've been hearing really good things about the elite driver from Callaway. Um, I used to have a Cobra driver, and the Cobra driver that is out right now is supposed to be hot, but not as forgiving as far as dispersion. So I'm really interested to see how that which driver head slash shaft combo gets me not just pure distance, but some hybrid in between distance and forgiveness, right? Because much rather have a driver that's the dispersion's a lot less than getting an extra 10 yards.
Right. Because 10
So,
yards in the trees ain't going to do you a damn bit of good.
no. So even if, I mean, I just get my club head speed with the driver around pretty slow, it's still like it tops out. Comfortable swing is about 101. If I try to step on it, I can get up to maybe 105. But whatever I can max out on the 101, 102 mile an hour where it doesn't feel like I'm swinging out of my shoes to keep the ball in play. That's what I'll end up most likely going with, unless just something fits my eye that I just love the look of it and love the feel. I might have a game time decision to make. So, but the goal is to get something with really good dispersion, small dispersion, and consistency up and with length.
Yeah, there's been some really I wouldn't say super long, but there's been some time in between orders and deliveries from Lab. I know they've been getting
Yeah, they're getting hammered.
a ton of orders.
Well, I mean, they have more, there's more PGA players doing them now. Live Golf, I mean, with all the YouTube stuff that we talked about, like with Dustin Johnson brought out like what 4 lab putters when he was playing with Phil and Grant Horvat.
Yep.
Um, so I think people are finally trusting the technology. They're like, okay, these guys are onto something. We got PGA, we got Live guys doing it. It's like it's field validated now.
Right.
So it's like the only sport out there where we're really looking at what equipment these guys are playing, what brands they're repping, and we want to replicate that in our own bag.
Well, yeah, I'm just going to stay with what I got. I'm not looking to add anything, although I do have in my possession a new putter. So
Oh,
I'm going to give that even roll
oh, even roll.
a
Okay.
I'm just going to putt around with it, and I wanted to check out the
What even roll are you getting, or do you have in your possession?
I have
The
the well,
blade or the mallet?
hold on and I'll grab it.
Yeah, grab it.
Oh, might not be able to see it with the background.
Yeah, just keep it in front of your head.
It's the Z2S, so it's the bladed style.
Yep, like a two and a
Yeah,
blade and a half, a little
and I
fat back.
love that.
Yeah,
I love that. I've got my one that I had blacked out, and I love the face technology from Even Roll.
yeah.
And
Even roll makes a good putter.
not that all 100% change,
Yeah,
because I love my DF3 and I've got every other lab putter known to man. But I couldn't stop myself. It's the only one I haven't tried,
yeah,
just because I wanted to see what the feels like and how it actually,
yeah,
if their tech is lab tech, if it's the same type of, if it has that same
yeah. It's supposed
feel
to.
when
I
you
mean,
swing it.
it's the different milling depth across the face. So as you get out closer to the toe and heel, it's supposed to make the ball go off the face at the same distance. So your miss hits are better, right? It's not really fate. Is that one lie angle balance or face angle balance or what is it?
It's it's whatever they call their let's see what it says. It's just zero torque.
Okay. So yeah, they're trying to do the lab thing, just like Bettinardi and Callaway AI and all that stuff. So
So once I'm gonna get some work in over on the putt view at the golf nest. Um and I'm gonna take three putters over there. I just want to see visually how they roll and what
yeah,
I think, but
yeah. The even roll, I liked my even roll. I had the mallet, the ER5 center
mhm.
shaft, ER5C, custom fit for that, and I liked that putter a lot. Um, I went away from the Scotty Ventura, which was the mallet style, very similar head center shaft. Um, but I was playing on slower greens at the fort, and the even roll is all stainless steel, so it comes off a little bit hotter. And then as soon as I sold my Futura and bought that even roll, then 6 months after that, I moved to Ewan, which have lightning fast greens. And I go, man, I wish I had that, aluminum face putter with a little bit softer feel so I wouldn't send everything by 5 or 6 feet.
Right.
So I'm really excited to see what this lab putter is going to feel like in the hands and see how everything comes off the face. But feels
Well,
good. Just the stock ones I've touched. So
hopefully you get it soon because I mean I noticed that it took a little bit of time to get used to it.
yeah,
Um, but man, they make it. I mean, it made me put my Scotty up pretty quick.
yeah. Well, I mean, I believed in it so much I sold my Circle T, Scotty. So
Look out. So I thought, in looking at the Mexico Open, which is coming this weekend, and I see Akshay and Patrick Rogers are both in the field. If you were going to take one of those two to win, who would you take? Especially
ooh,
after last week.
I have to
Both.
go with Rogers. I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean,
Well,
he just
then
look he
we'll.
looks good last week. I mean, how can I not pick him? Although the other guy was right up there too, and he looks good. I just hate that he has that broomstick putter.
Yeah, Akshay was eighth,
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
but if Akshay gets rid of that broomstick putter, I could be on his team. But
I mean,
man,
there's you got Taylor Moore's there, Aaron Rye, Michael Kim, Kirk Kitayama, um,
yeah,
Jake Knapp,
I like
CT
Jake Knapp,
Sam,
man. Talk about buttery smooth swing. I could watch that dude hit a golf ball all day long.
yeah, Bo Hostler, Ben Griff. It's Eric Van. There's not a whole lot of names that people
Yeah,
are gonna know that are in this. But that's fine. I mean, Sam
yeah. And
Ryder's
the
there.
scores are going to be low there too. They're typically people are going low at that course. My brother actually stayed on the resort on that course for a vacation one year and took a bunch of pictures, and it's pristine. Like he had me drilling when he was on vacation, sending me, "Hey, look, I just got on this golf course," and I asked him what it was, and I'm like, "Yeah, they play a PGA event there, right?" And he's like, "Oh, no, no, he doesn't golf, so no, but everything looks green." I'm like, "Yeah, that's probably a top 200 golf course."
And I need to look this up, but I think that the Mexico Open might have been, was that Jake Knapp's first win? Was that when
I don't know. I
that
don't know.
might have been when yeah, I think that was his first win. So he plays well there. He's plus 4,500.
That'd be a nice payday.
Yeah, Akshay is plus 1,400. Aaron Rise plus 3,300. Patrick Rogers plus 2,500. Michael Kim plus 2,500. Kurt Kitayama plus 2,200. So there's if you're gonna drop some bets, there's some horses you can get on and make you a little bit of money this weekend. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So John, that's about all I had, man. I thought we would jump on here and knock this out, talk about what was going on.
Yeah. One
Uh,
last thing before we go. Did you watch the YouTube or reel of Patrick Reed watching Bryson DeChambeau trying to get to 200 miles an hour? regular swing. He goes, I want it to be a controlled 200-mile-an-hour swing.
I did not, unfortunately.
Ball speed, that is 200 miles an hour ball speed. He was hovering right around 198 to 200. Slight little draw, controlled. That's his new stock shot, like 350 carry.
Dude.
It's unreal. It blew me away. And you can see watching Patrick Reed goes, if I could just get 5 more miles an hour, he goes, I'd be happy. And he goes, you're flying it past my ball by 30 yards. Easy.
And
And
you know
see how
what?
impressed he was watching Bryson. Like Patrick Reed's a phenomenal golfer. I'd put him in a lot of match play events.
Right.
You know, he's done pretty well on live. To see how excited he was standing behind Bryson on the range, going through his session. He goes, "Yeah, I want to hit. I want to hit 200 comfortably in controlled swing." He goes, "But I also want to make 10 shots in a row where I'm hitting the sweet spot." So at 200-mile-an-hour ball speed, getting 10 shots in a row before he walks off. That's tough to do.
I
That's a thing.
I know that the people listening, I mean, if you wrap your mind around that, that this is just where we are.
Yeah.
And there's kids coming up that are probably pushing 215, 220 ball speed,
Yeah.
and that's how they're learning. That's how they're coming to the PGA. Some of them aren't even going to make the PGA, but it's out there,
Yep.
and that's just where we're headed, and that's just normal. I mean, if you think back, I don't know, 8 years or whatever, and guys are going 310 or whatever, and you're
Yeah.
like,
310
wow.
is
And
a big, and that was total distance.
yeah, now these guys are landing it carrying 320. Like,
It's nothing.
I think Rory averaged 338 the other
Yeah.
week.
Well, like the commentator last week goes, "Oh, he's got like 305 to carry this. This is just a walk in a park for Rory." He cleared it by 15 yards, no problem. It didn't even seem like he did anything extra to try to cut off that distance or cut off that corner.
Well, but when when they have a short par four that's 310 or whatever, they're hitting three wood.
Or 5 wood.
It's
Dustin's got a 7 wood in his bag. He's hitting. He hits that thing 270, 280.
and it's baffling. It's like we're all
Yeah.
out here trying to get, the average of 260, 270, 275. And it's like,
Yeah.
my God, these guys are just crushing it almost 100 yards farther
Yep.
than what you're hitting the ball.
Yeah. If they could get me with my smash factor staying the same at averaging about 147 with a driver, which I'm pretty consistent at. If you could get me to 108 club head speed, like that's a game changer for me. That'd be 18 yards on average longer carry.
Yeah.
It would change my game big time. That'd be up there averaging 280 total, 280 to 285 total. Watch out.
You got to work at it to get there.
Yeah, I'm doing that. So
I'm not doing that. Well, I'm going to talk about it. I
it
need
would
the
be
equipment to
nice.
do it.
Would be nice, but wait till the technology advances so I don't have to work as hard.
Well, John, it's been nice to sit down and chat with you, man, and
Yes, sir.
we'll keep praying for better weather. Everybody,
Yep.
like, follow, subscribe, comment. And we're going to keep this thing rolling.
All right,
Well,
buddy.
John, you have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. See ya.